Thank you for having me. My name's Jasina. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona as well, and my family immigrated here from Albania. My mother is from a little village near Elbasan. It's kind of in the center of Albania. And my father is from a little town called Dibur, which borders North Macedonia.
Why did your family decide to move from Albania to the United States?
For the American dream, the same reason almost everyone else moves here, for a better life, to give the kids a better life as well, raise the kids in a better environment. At the time, it was a little bit scary over there. The nation was, under control. The Iron Curtain was still a thing. My mother came in the late 90s and early 2000s. They had a thing going, the citizenship visa. My mother applied for it, and she ended up winning the lottery and moving here with just a little bit of money, and ended up building a beautiful life for her kids, me and my brother.
What is the Albanian community like in Arizona? Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement or what it's sort of like?
Honestly, it's not super big, at least from my understanding. There are a lot of Albanian events that go on that we go to. Albanian Mother's Appreciation Day, which happens kind of around the same time as like Mother's Day, and the American Mother's Day at least. So we see a lot of Albanians that are, in the Arizona like that. But other than that, I don't run into a lot of Albanians in Arizona. I think along the East Coast, whenever I go and visit, I run into a lot more people there.
I know your family, you and your mom, kind of run a small little business, right? Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Kind of like the experience of starting it, what it's like?
Yeah, my mother started the business after my uncle started it first, actually. He started up a shop, and then she kind of followed along the footsteps. But when she first moved here, she was working 2-3 jobs at the same time to try to support. And after she saved a little bit of money, she decided to, rent out a little space and do what her brother did. And it ended up working out really well for her. It's just a little bagel shop, but it ended up doing really well and still does really well and supports her.
As somebody who is born in America with family and roots from Albania, have you ever felt sort of an identity crisis? For example, having felt too Albanian or too American, or just kind of an imbalance of the two?
Yes, both. I feel too American because I have this, I really don't speak too much of the language, and again, I don't see a lot of my, fellow Albanians in the state. So, I'm just surrounded by the American culture, and then when I go back home, it's the Albanian culture, but it gets confusing and it gets almost hard to balance the two because, then I see my Albanian family and they tell me I'm too American, and then I run into Americans and it's like, where are you from? You're not like the rest of us. So I always feel this weird, like, who am I really? Mm-hmm. Which, gets kind of hard sometimes, but I've been trying to find my culture again, get invested in it, especially as I get older. It becomes something that I want to, eventually pass down to my kids too. So I've been trying to talk to my family back home more and relearn the language again because, the term, if you don't use it, you lose it, is very true. So after I wasn't using it for quite a while, I lost it. So I've been trying to relearn it and gain it back. So I've been trying to talk to them back home a lot more and keep up with them. We used to go back a lot more when I was younger. It was almost every summer we were booking tickets to go back and visit everyone. But as I got older and as more families started coming this way, we kind of slowed down on the traveling a little bit. But it was my favorite time of the year whenever we would go back when I was younger. Just seeing the environment, seeing my grandparents, seeing family that I don't see all the time, seeing my cousins that I don't see all the time, friends even, it was always really, really fun. And even seeing animals that my grandpa had on the farm because, obviously in Arizona there isn't too many chickens or cows walking around. I mean, there are, but
It's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. But I do wish I could go back more often.
Yeah, I've seen you post, like, before on your Instagram, like, pictures from weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Like, tell me just a little bit more about the culture, the tradition that goes behind the weddings, because they're beautiful and they look so fun.
They're so extravagant. Albanian weddings, I think, are Albanians' favorite time of everything. As soon as they can get someone married, it's happening. It's like, it's not even just your wedding, it's everyone's wedding. It's the whole village's wedding. Like, that's an event for everyone. I kind of wish, American culture was a little bit like that. You don't really get to know your neighbors here a lot. But yeah, it feels like almost every time I'm there, there's a wedding that I'm attending.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. I still haven't been to a wedding. Like, American, Bulgarian, like, whatever. Like, I've never been. But
You can come with me.
What are some ways in which that you're sustaining and preserving, like, your culture?
Sometimes whenever my mom is cooking a traditional Albanian meal, I'll stand in the kitchen and help her out and try to learn a little bit of it, although it is kind of difficult. Yeah, so cooking is definitely up there. Spending time with my family, yeah. Attending those, like, events, like I mentioned earlier, those, like, Albanian Mother's Day appreciation kind of things. They have so many of those. I try to attend as many as I can whenever my mother wants to go, and they have a lot of dancing that happens.
So what do you think about the Balkan diaspora and building peace in America?
Yeah, they're definitely very important, especially because I think some countries in Europe definitely have that kind of divide where, like, I don't like this person because they came from that country, and that country doesn't mean my country. And it's like, let's grow from that. Like, that person didn't do anything to you, let's make these connections together and grow past that.
Do you have any advice for us on preserving our cultures while living in America?
Pass it down, for sure. Yeah, pass it down. And, if I have future kids and, make them visit the area, speak the language for sure, even if they have no reason to know it, I'm gonna make them know it. Continue to learn how to make those traditional foods for sure.